I'm Barbie.
And I'm Ken.
No, just kidding. But we did just watch Barbie, and we wanted to share our thoughts with you. I'm Brittany.
And I'm Tyler.
And we're us to you. And yeah, what do you think?
It was just a really good time. I didn't really know what to expect. I mean, did you? We didn't really watch the trailers.
No, I didn't watch any of the trailers. I didn't go in with many expectations. I kind of stayed off of social media. I just knew that it was gaining a lot of publicity. But I was pleasantly surprised. And I always love going into a movie without having many expectations and not really knowing what it's gonna look like. So I think that was really nice. Lizzo being in it, like the Barbie song of like when she's waking up and she's in her dream house. I loved all the actors in this movie. Like we saw so many sex ed actors in this movie, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, there was a lot of cameos, surprisingly, and it was just nice to kind of pick and choose and find like the Easter eggs that were in there, both from like Barbie stuff, like from people that have probably been long-time Barbie fans. They're like, yeah, this thing has been discontinued, or this thing was there for like, I don't know, like a very short time.
Like the pregnant Barbie.
The pregnant Barbie, which is weird because then you have to be like, where do babies come from? And that just gets into conversations parents don't want to start.
And I do love that Alan was played by Michael Cera.
Yeah, it was very an awkward character, but it was really fun, and it just really felt heartwarming, especially for people like, we just saw so many people being like happy coming out of the theater and going in.
People were laughing from the start of the movie.
Yeah.
I heard people crying next to me, and I also was crying, especially at America Ferrera's speech in the movie. Like, I don't know, that it's just such a relatable movie, and I guess I didn't think that it'd be going in that direction, and it was, like I said, I was just pleasantly surprised by the outcome of the movie, and everything was great, like the music, the costumes, the set, like everything.
I also felt like, for me, like this movie, like as a black person, it felt like Black Panther for like people that were like women, just the impact that I saw on it. Even when we walked in, like on, I guess, the grounds campus of the theater, like you could just see like pink everywhere. Like you knew who was coming, or even if it wasn't the color, like you knew it was like Barbie inspired, like the outfits.
Yeah, and that's something we noticed when we first went to see Black Panther too. That like we were walking from the parking into the theater, and you just saw how excited everyone was, and how supportive they were, and how empowered they all felt, before and after the movie. Yeah,
the costuming, how people just felt like, it was just very happy. It just felt very like good vibes going in.
And honestly, me and Tyler were both kind of like stressed before the movie and a little frustrated. And after the movie, I kind of just like, I felt like
very uplifted.
Yeah, uplifted and inspired, and it was just a great movie overall.
It was nice, yeah. So let's get into the, I guess, meat of like what the movie was about and like how you felt about it. So what did you think? I don't know, like I just didn't really know what the story would be. I like that they kind of went from Barbie world and seeing like, you were saying it's kind of Truman Show inspired. I haven't seen it, but I know kind of the concept of it.
I don't know, I got a lot of like different reminders, I guess, of different movies, like the Truman Show, Life Size with Tyra Banks. Like there's just a lot of elements from different movies that came to this one. And I also saw on TikTok too, like the flashbacks, or what is it? What did you call it earlier with Margot Robbie when she's Harley Quinn and like.
Like I guess they were doing like similar shots like that were done in other movies, like when she was Harley Quinn and that character. A lot of the shots that were in this movie replicated that. So it almost felt like maybe that was another Barbie. It was just Harley Quinn. That's very like, I don't know, just like an inside joke on like filmmaking. It was very nice to see.
I know, and I loved Weird Barbie. Like she was like the one that knew everything. She was like, yeah.
And
there's a ripple in reality.
Yeah.
Like and you need to go fix it.
Yeah, and it was the lady from SNL sketches. She's super funny, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad they had a really great cast, really impressive cast in this one.
Will Ferrell was in there,
Will
and
Ferrell.
like he also his role reminded me of like when he was Elf,
Yes,
you know,
I
the
got
Elf.
that vibes too.
And like with the glitter and the sparkles that he was talking about, I was like, wait.
And the guy from Shang-Chi, I think Simi EU. Sorry if I'm probably mispronouncing that, but he was a great character. That was nice to see the dynamic between the Kins and him and Ryan Gosling was really nice to see.
Yeah, so it was great. Obviously, I know him from when he was in oh my god, Kim's Convenience, and yeah, like it's
I'm just glad to see him getting more like shots and like opportunities. Same thing for the guy from Secret Invasion, so the Marvel show. That's
and that just came out, so
Yeah.
it's crazy that he's already in this.
And I haven't seen this kind of lot of stuff.
No,
but
I don't.
I think
I haven't
I would
seen
like
much.
to see more. Of him.
Yeah, and
He's a
then
good
we
actor.
see oh my god, I'm blanking on the names, but
Who we're
like
talking about?
I think her name is Margot in Sex Ed. Is that her name?
I don't know if it's so in Sex Education. There's this character, main female lead, and she often gets confused for Margot Robbie. Is
I feel like her name's Emma.
they look at Emma Watson?
No, Emma Watson.
Johnson, something like that. Emma something. But they look pretty much the same. Like it was the she was also in the movie. So is one of the other ones.
Emma Mackey.
Yes, Emma Mackey. She looks a lot. They get confused for each other.
And Shang-Chi character is Simu Liu.
Yes, and I mean the cast was just great. Just no kind of. It didn't feel like someone wasn't. It felt like everyone was a part of the world and the story and stuff like that. Felt very relatable. Even down to like their transition into real life, and I was like, yeah, that's accurate. Like some of the issues.
I know. I mean, Ken felt like he was in a paradise because he's like, whoa. In like Barbie world, I'm kind of like, he's not the main character.
Yeah.
But in our real world, I mean, the patriarchy does have a huge impact on the way we all live our lives. So he's like, ooh, I would like to take some of this into our world. And Barbie, on the other hand, was like completely torn. She's like, wait, I thought we had fixed all these issues for women. And so that's why they were always like living a life of like, basically they're in paradise because nothing ever went wrong, and women really were like respected there, and they're powerful and in these powerful roles, and they're the ones that led that world. So for her it was just like completely shocking to come into our world and see that that's not how things are run here.
I think it was also a commentary on like escapism. You know, like escapism is great, but sometimes like the real world cuts into that. You know what I mean? It happened to the mom character. You know, she was like, hey, like I remember all these memories of playing with my daughter, and the real world started creeping in, and then it led to her making characters that were sad and, you know, depressed and had cellulite. Not that, you know, any of those things are bad things; those are normal. Like,
but they're real things, and even her daughter was like,
was
"I'm
the
glad
realest
that
I've
you're
seen it."
showing that, because that's just a normal part of life, like being depressed and being sad and like talking about death, and I really liked the scene at the end where they're playing like there's I forget what the song is called already, but we're seeing like all the memories and like of all these girls, right? And that's what I think it is. I still don't have clarity on that, but and that just like also touched me. Like the song was perfectly, I'm pretty sure it was made for this movie, but it was just perfect, and you like people were sobbing. I heard people sobbing during this part of the movie,
and people were clapping at the end too. So it was very impactful to people like seeing this movie.
Yeah.
So I was glad I was able to connect with people like it did. But it was just really nice to see. Even like they even brought some of like the real life Barbie inspired people. I mean, the person that Barbie was based off of, the bench scene where you know, Barbie looks at this older lady on the bench, and she says how beautiful she is. She's actually the original person that Barbie was based off of. Her, I think her mother based the Barbie doll off of her, and that kind of started the whole you know, what is the history of Barbie now.
Yeah, I didn't know that, and Tyler was the one that was like, "Hey, that's homegirl over there."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Wait, what?"
So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was really nice to see, and just the connectedness.
And I loved how inclusive they were in the Barbie movie in Barbie world, because I don't know, growing up, I feel like I didn't see much of that. So for them, they're like, yeah, we're all Barbie. And we're all our own people as well. And so it was also beautiful to see that Barbie was so interested to be a part of our world, because yeah, like, life's really hard, but at the same time, like, I know a lot of us are grateful to be living the lives we are, and to be able to experience laughter and tears and sadness and happiness and like all the emotions that we're able to experience, versus just, you know, being robots.
Yeah.
And sometimes like life can feel that way too, that, you know, we're just working, and I don't know, kind of goes back to like what she was saying too, that, you know, you can like, oh no, it was actually America Ferrera that was saying like, you can just try your best, and sometimes you don't have to be like the perfect Barbie. You could just be like basically an okay Barbie,
and we all have our days too.
Yeah.
I think it was nice to see of like relating to people, just meeting people where they're at. You know, not everyone's gonna be this perfect person, this stereotypical version of, you know, what they expect people to be, what they expect you to be on a daily basis, and I think it just gave people grace with that. You know, and so I think people really felt connected with those scenes.
Yeah, and people think like you should be, because of, I don't know, maybe your age or your gender, or like you should be at a certain point in your life, you know, but they emphasize too that that's not the case. Like, you just, you know, try your best, and obviously like, you know, go through the way of the world as you are already, like, because your current version is enough. And yeah,
I agree. And I know some people felt like it was like a bash on like men and stuff like that, but I also think it was like relating to men, as far as like even like the ending.
I don't know if people said that, but it was like Pierre Morgan.
Yeah, Pierre Morgan, but I'm sure some other people felt this way as well. But also even with the ending with Ken, you know, saying like, hey, it doesn't have to be Barbie and Ken. We can just be our own separate people. And so they've been used to this symbiotic relationship, even though Barbie didn't even have feelings for this dude. Yeah. And Ken might not have either. It's just the role he was meant to play.
Yeah, he's like, but I'm supposed to do this.
And what was he with that? He's like, I'm Beach. That's what I do. I'm Beach.
Beach.
So it's like, you can be whatever you want to be. And so I think it gave also men the freedom to do that as well, that like you can just open yourself up to all these different things. It doesn't have to be that you're slotted into this role like Ken was.
Yeah, and this movie was also surprisingly humorous too. I didn't expect there to be this as much humor as there was. Like, even the narrator popping in saying like, by the way, this doesn't really apply because it's Margot Robbie.
That the beauty comment? Yeah. They're like, yeah, so I guess she doesn't look 100%, but she also is like, you know, stereotypically like beautiful, so it's like, you know. But I like that it was like able to make fun of itself too. And had those inside jokes. It was nice to see.
Yeah. And that scene at the end where the President Barbie was like, she basically cursed and they bleeped it and said like Mattel.
Mattel, yeah.
That was funny.
Well, it was cool. And then, you know, commentary even like on like, you know, people that run like Mattel and stuff like that, and like changing up the system there. But it was just nice to see. And you know, it's been a while since I saw a movie like this that was able to kind of bring people together, so that was nice. Yeah,
it was also sad, like, America Ferrera's character, and I forget what her name is in the movie, but, or did she even have a name? I think she's just like Mom, right?
I think so. I don't think they called her by name.
Because I feel like she just represented all the moms. That, like, moms were like, I want you to be a child again. Yeah. You know? And I felt that because growing up, my heart feels so heavy all of a sudden. Yeah. Growing up, like, I was one of the kids that played with my dolls until I was a little older. I think till I was in like middle school.
Yeah.
Probably like end of middle school. And my mom loved that about me because she felt like I could still be a child. And like I felt so sad for the mom because I know that that's something that my mom has gone through too. Like, oh, my child's growing up and they're not liking the same things that they used to like, and I'm not able to relate to them as much, you know. So that was also really impactful to see that and how many mothers have experienced. I mean, I'm not a mother, but I can only imagine because my mom has also experienced that. So I think that was just beautiful too. And I mean, I can also see the daughter's perspective as she was like, well, I haven't played with Barbies since I was like 5.
Yeah.
So.
And it was also like the loss of innocence, you know, with like the real world hits you, and like, you know, these girls that were in the movie, like, you know, they had to just face that, and so that, you know, you get brought out of that escape from reality, and so it can be hard to look at, you know, especially from a mom's perspective, but also for the kids, like, you know what I mean? Like, you used to do that, but you know, that escape isn't the same anymore because I'm having to face what's in front of me.
Yeah, I am going to rate this a 10 out of 10 because, okay, and I rated Spider-Verse a 9.5 out of 10, which is a really great movie, and I only rated it that because I loved some of the music more from the first movie. And I'm so inclined. I'm just gonna bump Spider-Verse up to like a 9.8 because it was just that good. But as soon as I got out of Barbie 2, I was like, I need to rewatch this movie, and I feel the same way about Spider-Verse, but 2 different movies, and I loved it, you know.
I don't know what my rating would be. Like, it's not a bad movie, it's a really great movie. I don't know if I can give it a 10 out of 10 because that's like a perfect movie for me. I don't know if any movie's perfect. Like, I'm a big Star Wars fan. I don't even know if I can give Star Wars a 10 out of 10.
Really? Oh my god.
Yeah, but
it's not about it being perfect.
But I mean, I think it's a really well done movie.
I just loved everything. The music, all the actors that were involved, like all the cameos to our childhood, like all the inner like meanings. She was talking about capitalism, and I love the humor. Like she was like, "Wait, I'm feeling conscious, like almost about myself." I'm like, "Yeah, welcome."
To the world.
Yeah.
So I'll probably give it a 9. I think my answer may change. I just don't really know what to base this off of because I was really just surprised by like what this movie like gave to us, you know, because I didn't really know what to expect going in.
You know, I'm gonna bump it down to a 9.8 because I don't think it's better than Spider-Verse. I think it's at the same level, but for different reasons.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I think we're really happy. I think you guys should check it out. I think it's a really great movie to want to see. Really good time. So.
Yeah. And our cats are trying to join us. So we will be exiting now. Okay.
Yeah. But you know, hope you guys see it. Have a good one and go to Barbie Land.
Yeah. Bye.